Welcome to my channel, The World Coin. Hello and welcome, coin lovers. This channel is dedicated to the fascinating world of coins from every corner of the globe. From ancient currency to modern mints, rare finds to everyday coins, we explore their history, design, and hidden stories. So subscribe now and join our growing community of coin collectors, history enthusiasts, and curious minds. I have 4 videos of 5 cents. So let's get started. The 1953 5-cent coin, commonly known as the Jefferson nickel, is an important mid-20th century coin issued by the United States Mint. Although on the surface it appears to be an ordinary circulating coin, collectors value it for its historical background, mint variety differences, strike characteristics, potential errors, and its role in the long-running Jefferson nickel series. The coin belongs to the design period that ran from 1938 to 2003. Created by sculptor Felix Schlag, whose design features President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, Jefferson's home, on the reverse. Because 1953 falls in the post-World War II era, the nickel composition had returned to its regular alloy after the temporary war silver issues 1942-45. This makes 1953 nickels interesting to collectors who study how mint production quality changed after wartime. The 1953 Jefferson nickel has the typical specifications of the era. Metal: 75% copper, 25% nickel. Weight: 5.00 grams. Diameter: 21.21 millimeters. Thickness: 1.95 millimeters. Edge: plain. This cupronickel composition makes the coin strong and durable, which is why most circulated 1953 nickels are still found in decent condition today. There is no silver in this coin, which is important because some new collectors mistakenly believe all old nickels may contain silver. Only 1942-45 inches wartime nickels do. In 1953, the U.S. Mint produced the nickel at 3 mint locations. Mintage: approximately 46,644,000. No mint mark appears on the coin. Known for generally weaker strikes, especially on the reverse where details of Monticello often look soft. Mintage: approximately 59,878,000. Mint mark: D, is located on the reverse, right of Monticello. Strike quality varies from sharp to weak. The Denver Mint produced more coins than Philadelphia that year. Mintage: approximately 19,211,000, lowest of the year. Mint mark: S, is also on the reverse. These coins are scarcer, often better made, and more valued in higher grades. A left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson. Word: Liberty, written in script style, followed by the year 1953. Motto: In God We Trust. Collectors closely examine hair detail around Jefferson's forehead and curls. Sharpness of the nose and cheek. Clarity of lettering and rim. Weak strikes are common, especially from Philadelphia. A detailed depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's iconic home. Word: Monticello, under the building. Denomination: 5 cents. Country name: United States of America. Motto: E pluribus unum, at the top. Mint mark S or D or none for Philadelphia. The most important detail collectors look for is full steps, FS. This refers to complete, uninterrupted steps on Monticello's entrance. Full steps indicates an unusually sharp strike and can multiply a coin's value dramatically. Prices vary depending on condition and whether the coin has full steps. 1953, 10 cents minus 50 cents. 1953 D, 10 cents minus 50 cents. 1953 S, 25 cents minus $1, scarcer. 1953, $4 minus $45. 1953 D, $4 minus $50. 1953 S, $10 minus $70. 1953 FS, $150 minus $1,000 plus. 1953 DFS, $200 minus $1,200 plus. 1953 SFS, $300 minus $2,500 plus, very rare. The reason for high full steps values is that most 1953 nickels were weakly struck, making fully defined steps uncommon. Some 1953 nickels show collectible mint errors. Portion of the design shifted outward. Value: $20 minus $250 depending on percentage. Lines are raised. Metal caused by a damaged die. Value. $5 minus $50. Curved clip on the edge of the coin. Value. $20 minus $150. A mint mark punched twice in slightly different positions. Value can reach $50 minus $300 plus. Letters or numbers appear doubled. Rare but valuable if found. Often $100 plus. When collectors grade 1953 nickels, they look at hair detail above the ear, cheekbone sharpness, clarity of liberty and date, Monticello roof, columns, and steps, clean rims with no major nicks. Professional grading by PCGS or NGC adds significant value to high-grade coins. It is part of the classic Jefferson nickel design used for over 60 years. Mintages were relatively high, but high-grade coins are harder to find. Full steps. Strikes are scarce and desirable. San Francisco Mint coins from this year are becoming harder to locate in MS condition. A good collection year for beginners and advanced collectors. Next video. The 1989 United States 5 cents coin, commonly known as the Jefferson nickel, is a significant piece of modern American coinage that carries forward a long legacy beginning in 1938. The 1989 nickel features the classic design created by Felix Schlag, which remained on U.S. nickels for decades before later updates. Although the 1989 nickel may appear very common at first glance, the coin represents a period of stable U.S. minting history, consistent metallic composition, and an important place in circulation coin collecting. Understanding this coin requires examining its design, history, minting process, physical specifications, varieties, and collectible value. On the obverse front of the 1989 nickel, you will see a left-facing portrait of President Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. The word, liberty, is placed beside his profile, followed by the date 1989. A small mint mark, either P, D, or S, appears to the right of the date. The portrait is simple yet elegant, reflecting Schlag's original artistic choices from the 1930s, designed during a national design competition. On the reverse back, the coin features Jefferson's famous home, Monticello, located in Virginia. The architecture of Monticello is portrayed with great detail, including its columns, dome, and steps. Above the building appears the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. Below Monticello are the words, Monticello, 5 cents, and, United States of America. The reverse is a timeless depiction of America's architectural and political history. Denomination: 5 cents. Year: 1989. Metal composition: 75% copper, 25% nickel. Weight: 5.00 grams. Diameter: 21.21 millimeters. Edge: plain, smooth. Designer: Felix Schlag. This metal combination gives the coin its familiar grayish-silver appearance. The alloy is durable, making nickels resistant to wear even after decades of circulation. 3 U.S. mints produced the 1989 nickel. Minted in Philadelphia. Mint mark: P. Mintage: approximately 1.1 plus billion. Very common in circulation. Minted in Denver. Mint mark: D. Mintage: approximately 570 plus million. Also common but lower mintage than Philadelphia. Minted in San Francisco. Mint mark: S. These were made only for collectors in special proof sets. Highly polished dies, mirror-like finish, and sharper details. Most 1989 nickels in circulated condition hold face value, 5 cents, because they are modern and produced in very high quantities. However, some special circumstances can increase value. Coins graded Mississippi 65 or higher can be worth $1 to $10 or more depending on eye appeal. Proof nickels in PR 69 or PR 70 condition can be worth $5 to $25 plus. Certain rare mint errors from 1989 can be worth $50 to over $500 plus, including off-center strike, double die obverse or reverse, broad strike, missing clad layer, very rare, die cracks, overpolished die, missing details. Collectors search for these error nickels because they are far more valuable than normal 1989 coins. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The U.S. Mint wanted a design that honored Jefferson along with his architectural masterpiece, Monticello. The coin design lasted for decades until the Mint updated the portrait in the early 2000s. The year 1989 lies within the traditional period of American nickel production when coins were made to high standards yet preserved the classic look. During this time, the U.S. economy relied heavily on circulation coinage, and millions of 1989 nickels were used daily in shops, transportation systems, vending machines, and everyday transactions. Because of high usage, many coins show wear, but uncirculated pieces reflect the original boldness of the design. Even though most 1989 nickels are common, collectors enjoy this coin because it continues the long-running Jefferson nickel design. It has multiple mint marks to collect P, D, S. It offers opportunities for finding mint errors. Proof coins from 1989 are beautifully struck. It is an affordable coin for beginners and a nostalgic item for longtime collectors. For new collectors, a complete 1989 set P plus D plus S proof is a simple yet satisfying addition to a coin album. The 1989 U.S. 5 cents Jefferson nickel represents classic American coin design, heavy national history, and durable craftsmanship. While the coin is common in pocket change, it still carries value for collectors, especially in proof form or when found with rare mint errors. Its iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson and the architectural beauty of Monticello make it one of the most recognized and enduring pieces of modern U.S. coinage. Next video. The United States 5 cents coin of 1976, also known as the Jefferson nickel, is a regular issue circulation coin that continued the long-running design introduced in 1938. Although the year 1976 is famous for the bicentennial designs on the quarter, half dollar, and dollar, the nickel did not use a special bicentennial design, so the 1976 nickel looks the same as 1975 and other surrounding years. The obverse of the 1976 nickel features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, and an influential American founding father. The portrait, created by sculptor Felix Schlag, shows Jefferson in a classical profile style with distinctive hair waves, neck details, and a sharp collar line. Around the portrait appear the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," on the left side, "Liberty," on the right side, and the date, 1976. If the coin was minted in Denver, it carries the mint mark, D, placed to the right of the date. The Philadelphia Mint coins for this year carry no mint mark, as was normal before 1980, no P mint mark on nickels before 1980. The reverse side displays Jefferson's famous home Monticello, a neoclassical architectural landmark located in Virginia. The building on the coin includes the dome, front pillars, central entrance, steps, and wall details. Above the building appears the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. Beneath Monticello are the inscriptions, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. The design is simple yet elegant and has been used on the nickel for decades, making it one of the longest-running U.S. coin designs. The composition of the 1976 5-cent coin is 75% copper and 25% nickel, commonly called cupro nickel. The weight is 5.00 grams, the diameter is 21.2 millimeters, the thickness is approximately 1.95 millimeters, and the coin has a smooth, plain edge without any reading. These measurements remained consistent for many years, making the Jefferson nickel a stable and reliable denomination in U.S. commerce. Regarding mintages, the 1976 nickel was produced in high numbers for regular circulation. The Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of coins, and the Denver Mint also produced a massive supply. Because the mintage was so large, the coin is generally common, and most circulated examples hold only face value, 5 cents. However, uncirculated coins, high-grade mint state coins, and those certified Mississippi 66, Mississippi 67, or higher can carry premium value among collectors. A small number of full steps FS examples, coins where the steps of Monticello appear sharply struck, with clear separation between the lines, are much more desirable. Achieving full steps on a 1970s nickel can be difficult, so FS coins graded Mississippi 66 or Mississippi 67 can be valuable. There are also errors and varieties that collectors search for. These may include die cracks, die clashes, off-center strikes, broad strikes, struck-through grease errors, and double die obverse or reverse varieties. Some errors can sell for higher prices depending on how dramatic they appear. For example, a 1976 nickel struck off-center by 30 to 50% can be worth much more than face value. A strong double die or a coin with incomplete planchette metal flow, weak strike in uncirculated condition can also interest collectors. The 1976 Jefferson nickel represents a continuing chapter in American coinage without any special bicentennial design change, making it an interesting year for collectors who study how the U.S. Mint maintained consistency during a major national celebration. The coin holds historical value because it reflects the long-lasting design dedicated to Jefferson and Monticello, linking modern currency to early American history and architecture. While most 1976 nickels remain common, collectors appreciate sharp strikes, high-grade pieces, and unusual minting errors. Every feature, Jefferson's portrait, the lettering, the Monticello design, the metal composition, the mint distribution, and potential die varieties, contributes to the coin's collectible story. This makes the 1976 5-cent coin a classic and enduring part of United States numismatic heritage. Next video. The 1974 United States 5-cent coin, commonly known as the Jefferson nickel, represents one of the classic circulating coinage issues struck by the U.S. Mint during the mid-20th century transition period. Although not considered a rare date in normal condition, the 1974 nickel carries historical importance because it came during a decade when U.S. coinage design was stable but production quality varied, leading to several collectible varieties and error types. The coin is made from the standard 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy, giving it the familiar silvery gray appearance, and has a weight of 5.0 grams, a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, and a smooth plain edge. Like all Jefferson nickels since 1938, the obverse features a left-facing bust of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag. The portrait shows Jefferson wearing a coat with a visible collar, and the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," placed to the left of his profile, "Liberty," and the year 1974 to the right, separated by a small star. The reverse displays the iconic image of Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's home in Virginia. The design includes the building's dome, pillars, and steps, along with the inscriptions, "E Pluribus Unum," above, and "Monticello, 5 cents," and "United States of America," below. The architectural details on the steps and the central doorway are crucial for collectors when grading high-grade examples, because strike weakness was very common in the early 1970s, making sharply struck coins more valuable. Philadelphia, no mint mark. Denver, D. San Francisco, S. For proof coins only. Philadelphia produced the largest quantity, resulting in most 1974 nickels in circulation being from this mint. Denver mint coins can sometimes show noticeable strike softness, particularly on Jefferson's cheek and jawline. The San Francisco issues are mirror finish proof coins, having a deeply reflective background with frosted raised design elements. These were made specifically for collectors, not circulation. 1974 Philadelphia, approximately 601,752,000 coins. 1974 D. Denver, approximately 277,373,000 coins. 1974 S. Proof, approximately 2,612,000 coins. These high mintages mean that most examples in circulated condition have only face value. However, high-grade, well-struck, or error coins can be valuable. A major collectible variety for Jefferson nickels is the full steps designation, which means the steps on Monticello, usually 5 or 6 lines, are fully visible and unbroken. On 1974 and 1974 D coins, full steps is very rare, because the dies were often worn. High-grade 1974 DFS coins can sell for hundreds to thousands of dollars at auctions. Coins struck off-center, 5% minus 50%, are valuable depending on visibility of the date. Off-center with full date is worth significantly more. Some 1974 nickels show die cracks around the rim, Jefferson's hair, or Monticello's roof. Large cuds, die breaks, may bring premium prices. While not extremely common for 1974 nickels, some minor doubling varieties exist. Strong doubling would be highly valuable. Coins struck without the retaining collar appear wider and flatter. These are collectible depending on severity. A curved or straight clip, missing from the coin edge. Genuine clips show metal flow characteristics. Several features determine the desirability of a 1974 nickel. Coins with clear hair detail on Jefferson and sharp Monticello steps are more valuable. Uncirculated coins with bright, original mint luster receive higher grades. Top registry collectors heavily target FS examples. Even common dates can become expensive in FS condition. Scratches, contact marks, or discoloration reduce value. Mirror finish proof coins must be free of haze and fingerprints to be premium pieces. Certain errors may fetch 5 times to 100 times more depending on uniqueness and severity. Actual prices vary by condition, grading service, and demand. Circulated 5 cents face value. Uncirculated MS60 Mega Siemens 64 $1 $7. High grade MS65 Plus $15 $100. Full steps MS66 Mega Siemens 67 FS $200 minus $1,500 plus. Circulated face value. Uncirculated $1 $10. High grade MS65 Plus $25 $150. Full steps MS66 Mega Siemens 67 FS $500 minus $3,500 plus. Rare proof $2 $10. Deep Cameo PR69 PR70 $20 minus $150 plus depending on frost contrast. The mid-1970s era was a time of economic instability in the United States, with inflation changing public attitudes toward coin hoarding, especially copper-based coins. Although the nickel's composition stayed the same, its production reflected the era's industrial challenges: worn dies, inconsistent metal flow, and varied strike pressure. These issues indirectly created collectible strike variations like weak steps or mushy portrait details. The design remained unchanged until 2004, when the U.S. Mint began the Westward Journey Nickel series. The 1974 United States Jefferson nickel is common in circulation but becomes highly collectible in mint state, well-struck, full steps, proof, or error forms. Its long-running design, combined with the mid-1970s minting issues, makes it a fascinating coin for collectors seeking strike variations, historical significance, and rare high-grade gems. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. A new coin story awaits you every next day.